Hey guys, Tim and Dave here from the Single Malt Review. Welcome, us and yourselves, to a rather belated 2024. I don't know when the statute of limitations end on the when things is a new year thing. Hopefully in a little bit, because we haven't done our whiskey of the year yet, but we are. It's on the. We're doing it. We're doing it today. Don't worry, it'll be right along the corner. But rolling straight in with some cracker drams. What have we got today, Dave?
Well, this is one from your collection. It is Maclean's Nose. This is an Ardnamurchan blend. And, well, you know more about it than I.
Yes, actually, in a case of a whiskey with, well, the case of a QR code with something meaningful to say, rather than just dumping you out at some soulless brand page, this wee ticket here tells you all you need to know about this whiskey, takes you to a lovely PDF with just a mind-boggling amount of information, which I will rattle off as we pour here. So, as Dave said, this is a blended whiskey, but it's a blend, I think, like absolutely no other. It is put together by Ardnamurchan and consequently Adelphi, and it is astonishing in almost every single way. The first being just its basic makeup, which is 70% malt, which is insane. That is crazy. Yeah. That's more than twice what you'll probably be getting in a bottle of your bog standard bottom shelf, you know, your Johnny Walker Reds, your Dewar's White Labels, your Bells, the list goes on, really. In all cases of those, you'd be very, very lucky to get 35% malt whiskey in there. It's mostly a grain job for that. And that is what it is. You should know that's what you're getting if that's what you're in for. But this one, so right off the bat, something special, something different. And as I said with that QR code, you can see exactly what's in this. And I mean exactly what's in it as I peer over at my notes. Although you could just go to the thing yourself for a cleaner version here. I might pop it up on the screen. But this is comprised of exactly, 40 ex-bourbon barrels from Ardnamurchan, quite a lot, and 16 sherry hogsheads, also from Ardnamurchan, with an age of 5 years. So that's definitely the backbone of what's going on here. There is a slightly more mysterious 5 ex-bourbon casks from Campbellton, which narrows it down to 2, Glen Scotia and Springbank. But I think, and Dave will have to corroborate or not here, I think it might be a few sneaky casks of Longrow from Springbank, because there's a tangy smoke in here, which I don't know if Ardnamurchan has the make to produce, but we'll see. We'll investigate further. And then the rest is 6-year-old grain from Lowlands. Who knows?
So and really, this is pretty much a 5-year age statement blend. There's nothing younger than 5 in here, even the grain.
Nope. So they could have. I would have put that on the bottle personally. I love to see a younger age statement, because it might not be a big number, but it's a significant number considering.
Impressive to see so few whiskies in a blend as well. The more, I guess, mainstream commercial blends may have dozens, 30, 40 different whiskies in them.
So really, it's barely a blend. It's, except for the price, barely a blend. So, is it any
Speaking
good?
of price, it was
conspicuously cheap. Yeah, we'll get into that one. But this one, once you take the extra 6% ABV, considering
46%, which is very
that
nice
blends
to see.
are typically only 40, this is competitive price-wise with some really, really, really cheap whiskey. Really cheap whiskey.
And it's natural colour and not filtered.
It is. Yeah. It's really good.
And it's a nice colour too, especially for such a young whiskey.
So I'll get why this is so special to me as we go in. But at the moment, just craft presentation all up and down the show in every aspect of this whiskey. So here's a wee close-up here. Nothing mega, mega, mega dark, but you can certainly see some sherry wood has gone in there. And on the nose, it's quite unmistakably, as you might imagine, Ardnamurchan.
Yeah.
It's all there, that salty maritime,
there's some
oyster shells.
Salted toffee. There's a little bit of confectionery to it. Bit of marmalade, yeah.
And some people say white chocolate, but I'm not sure I get chocolate, white or otherwise, off that one. But we'll see. We'll see if we can crack
I think I can
that
see
with
where
a
it's
bit of
coming from,
water.
but it doesn't scream it out to me personally.
So on the palate, at full strength. Yep. It cracks off immediately.
Yeah.
This really, really might as well be Ardnamurchan light. It's got so much, as you'd imagine from its makeup, so much Ardnamurchan character. It's really just been beveled a little bit, softened by that little bit of grain whiskey, and given this thread of exciting smoke from the Campbellton.
I'm thinking maybe not Long Row for the Campbellton. Well, that smokiness is there, but
Yeah.
based on the proportions you described, this would be an overwhelmingly peaty whiskey if it was full on Long Row in those quantities.
That's probably a good call. I'm not even, because outside of the long row, I think there's every chance that this is Glen Scotia malt because, well, it'd be a hell of a lot easier to get hold of, and probably a hell of a lot cheaper too, considering what has befallen the prices of Springbank. Even if you're a whiskey maker yourself on the production market, I'll bet it's still pretty hard to get your hands on that stuff. So who knows? Who knows? Every chance it's either of the two, but it's certainly lending a little bit of peat and that little bit of funk coming through, but it's reasonably minor.
Yeah. Wee Skerrick of Water has brought out more peat, I think.
Water brings out quite a lot. With
Coal
this blend.
and charcoal smoke.
It does bring out a little bit of soot. I get quite a bit more savoury out of this one.
Ooh.
That's quite a...
That's brought out a lot of citrus and a lot of smoke on the tongue. Like it.
and there's really, really savoury oak as well. Really sort of driftwood by the beach kind of a thing going on.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, I really, really like it. In terms of what stylistically, as I say, very, very, very close to the home style of Ardnamurchan, which is, I suppose, God, it's quite unique. I always like to give people a common whiskey comparison for this, and it's hard to do because a lot of the other commercial whiskies are quite a bit sweeter. Just because that's what's popular. People want to try their lovely honey noted whiskies. This one is a lot drier. It's a lot more reserved. It's probably a little bit in the direction of Ben Nevis, if you're thinking in that kind of direction. A very sort of quite a drier style of whiskey. But otherwise, it's really quite unique. Maybe a bit of a foot in Tobermory, but I'm reaching on that one. So yeah, there you go. A pointless comparison. So you just have to take my word for it that this is really, really nice. This is tremendous stuff. And considering the price, transformatively good quality, like unbelievably good quality. This is the whiskey that Gotham deserves in the midst of our price apocalypse in the whiskey market, which everyone must be feeling at this point. Us maybe slightly worse given the sheer distance.
Miles.
Things are always going to cost a bit more down here, even before you take in tax scenarios and yada yada. But ain't no one on the planet buying whiskey on the cheap in this day and age. That is for sure. So to see something like this come along at this almost unbelievable price point for the amount of quality in here, I really do applaud. Really, really, really good stuff to see. Oh, we didn't even address the name, McClean's Nose. It's named after, well, two things, I guess, very meta. The big rock that's off the coast of Ardnamurchan there. Oops. And also the nose of Mr. Charles McClean, who is sort of the Ardnamurchan's, Adelphi's olfactory consultant over there. So quite literally the nose. Whether he had anything to do with this whiskey, I'm really not sure. Scores for this. It's challenging to put a score on because it'd be a blend score, but it's for all the world like I'm tasting a single malt. It shares so much more with malts than it does with blends, and it shares an awful lot more with single malt than it does with blended malts because it's almost a single. It's so close to being there, but blend score it shall remain. And I'm wondering, I don't want to become too hyperbolic about it, but it is going to be a very, very stern blend score, and it's going to be an 88 for me. Really, really good stuff.
I'm going to push just one step higher to an 89. This is just an outstandingly approachable, drinkable dram. It works well as a Scotch whisky. It works well as a blended Scotch whisky. It just succeeds on every front. It manages to be idiosyncratic. It's unique. It's made of it's got its handful of component parts, but it balances them so nicely. It's not just a, say, Ardnamurchan Forward or Bourbon Dominant or whatever. It has all those different little constituents, and they each just harmonise nicely.
Yeah, it's complete. It's complete in almost every single way. It is, despite being so young, it is mature. Despite being so weighted towards Ardnamurchan, it is balanced. And despite being so balanced, it's still exciting.
Yes.
It really does manage to dunk so many things in its one move. They've just done really, really good. And funnily enough, this whiskey's going to come back up in a little bit when I'll have even more to say about the what this whiskey has done for me. So stay tuned for that one.
And honestly, just finally to mention, milliliter per milliliter, it is priced on par with the likes of, say, a Johnny Walker Black, isn't it? It's that economical.
I think it's actually cheaper than Johnny Walker Black.
Wow.
Once you put the 46% in, that extra, because Johnny Walker Black is only 40%.
Yeah.
Oh goodness me! You can get a litre of that for about between 80 and 90 New Zealand dollars, and so you'd have to run some mid-level maths there and see which one beat out. But it's very, very, very close. So the price point that is competing, that's what we're talking about. It's very, very, very affordable whiskey over here. Anyway, I can see a naughty 11 on the screen. We've gone far too long on this one. But that just shows how substantive this is. We can talk for over 10 minutes about a blend, a no-age statement blend. Yeah, really, really good stuff. Hunt it down if you can. I think this first batch is probably vanishing to gone by this point, but if you see one, snap it up for sure and open that sucker. Do not collect it. It'd be against every aspect of the spirit of this whiskey.
It deserves to be enjoyed, and it's priced to be accessible.
It does. That's what it's for. All right, cheers. We'll be right back with something a little stronger. I think I'm looking at another very, very naughty high number on the desk over here. So stay tuned for that one, and Happy New Year's. We will be right back.